Good morning and welcome, folks. It is Saturday, the 23rd of April. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, coming up today, we're doing stake and a half. There is a lot of racing. I wouldn't say there is actually a huge amount of value, but there's a lot of racing. So I'm doing a stake and a half today. It's 4 bets, 2 lucky 15s, 1 win Trixie, as much as most of you will be running for the hills. And I'm also going to do, last time I called it a bumper bet, it's slightly bigger, so I don't know if it's like a jumbo bet. That's going to be the main bet of the day coming up. Before we do that, I'll do the review of yesterday and we will have a word on the golf. Okay, couple of house notices before I begin, because it is a Saturday and I tend to get a few newer faces on a Saturday. So if you're brand new to the channel, I am focusing on value in the market. I'm running a high risk strategy. We lose more days than we win. I'm looking at bigger prices and accumulators, not a lot on singles. So if you want a shorty to put in an accumulator, this is not the channel for you. It's a high risk strategy and it's long term. So this week we haven't had a good week as far as profit and loss. We've had some nice horses and some near misses, but we are running nearly 50 quid behind. So on the context of the week before, we made £112. So it's not all bad, and we are still in profit for April. So we made profit January, profit February, profit in March, and we are still in profit for April as I speak to you now. But a bad day could change all that, to be honest. So that is where we're at. And the other thing I want to say is, for those of you who watched the video and commented and liked yesterday, thank you so much. It was just amazing. It was really, really touching that people are appreciating what I'm doing. So I will crack on, and there's always going to be a few funny folk in the world. And there was another one yesterday, despite everything I said. Mad, but there you go. That's what people are into. And the other thing I was going to say as well is I'm not into gimmicks as well. Like there's a few things going on channels at the moment where they're doing all sorts of different weird and wonderful promotions and asking people to like and subscribe and they can enter this and enter that. I don't know, at some point I may do some sort of competition. I'm not sure. And I don't begrudge anybody, particularly if it's a competition based around charity. That's lovely and altruistic. I'm all good with that. Less keen on the promotions for here, there and everywhere and betting affiliated channels. So as you guys know, I'm not affiliated with anybody. I'm just a guy sharing my tips with you, and if you want them, you can take them, and if you don't want them, you don't have to take them, and if you want to abuse me, you can go somewhere else. Ultimately, the channel's in profit, so I think we're doing all right. Okay, yesterday, where we're at. Bet one. So those of you who were watching yesterday will know we had number 2 horse there, Foreseeable Future. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice I have never put 1 horse in 2 bets before. We had a day the other day where we had 6 horses and I did it kind of like 2 overlapping lucky 15s, but I haven't ever put 1 horse in 2 bets. And obviously I did it for a reason. I didn't expect it to run so comfortably well, but it was a 10-1 winner yesterday. Just the super frustrating thing is nothing else came off on that bet. So we had Foreseeable Future, 14s on the channel, 10-1 SP, but nothing else happened. And I put it in 2 bets and I couldn't get anything with it in the second bet either. The thing is, it happens. It's massively frustrating. That was yesterday. Today is today. It's a new day. We move on. But yeah, we had nothing. So Foreseeable Future, we had it in there as 2 on its own winners in there. And then the third bet, Miss Milano, started off second at 25-1, 22s on the channel, and then I couldn't get anything with that either. So we did have that as an additional single. So I made it 20 on, 15.55 back is what I got for the channel. So it was a loss of 4.45. So it was a small loss, but it's one of those ones that feels a lot more painful because at the start of the day, when your second horse goes in 2 bets at that nice price and does it so well, you think, oh, this is going to be a good one, and then just no. So it's the way the betting gods go with us sometimes. That's it. Right, today's bets. I'm going to do what we'll do. We've got the the UK Lucky 15, as I will refer to it. Got 4 horses, straightforward. I've got a bit more complication coming, so straightforward to start us off. Bet 1. 3 early races here as well. 130 Haydock, Water of Lee, 13-2. There's not a lot of value in that price, but it's worth a little go. 145 Ripon, Florida filly. This one has been backed in massively. In places last night, if you were on it at the right moment online, you could have got 200 to 1, which was a ridiculous price. 28 is where we're at now. It's an unraced horse. I really like quite a lot of things in the pedigree. You never know with an unraced horse. You know, on the channel, as in life, I've got mixed success. So we've had some nice ones place on the channel. You never know if it's unraced because you're going off breeding. You're not necessarily going on what it's done because it hasn't done anything. What I would say is I only put these in if I think the race structure is right. And when I talk about race structure in this context, I mean I'm looking at the other horses. There are other horses I think are massive prices today that are unraced, but they're racing against much, much better quality bred horses. This one I think is viable for a first time out, so I'm having a little go. Then we've got 150 Sandown, Boomborn, 11 to 1, and then the 345 at Haydock, Del Grey Boy at 16 to 1. 20p each way, lucky 15. That is bet 1. Then bet 2, which we will go and call the Irish lucky 15. We've got in here 235 Navan, Cometh the Man, 9 to 1. 250 Limerick, Coins Cross, 17 to 2. 430 Limerick, Comfort Line, 6 to 1. And then another one that's taken a massive hit this morning, particularly. You could have got 33s on that last night. Duke Otto. I still think it's value at 12, but 33s would have been a lot better, clearly. But we'll take what we've got this morning. The point is, I'm doing the channel in the morning so that more people can get on the prices that I'm putting on here. If I wanted to make the best prices and probably make the most profit on the channel, I'd do the videos the night before and take the horses that I believe are going to get backed in overnight and in the morning. I'm not about that. I'm trying to give you the best opportunities I can this morning. So Duke Otto there is at 12 to 1. We'll take it. 20p each way, lucky 15, bet 2. All right. Win Trixies, well documented on this channel. Recently they've been terrible. At the beginning of the channel they were good. We have not ever hit 3 in 1 on a Win Trixie. I've got 2 shorties in here with a biggie. I think it's worth a go. I know these are shorter prices than I sometimes go, but I think it was worth a go. Fully respect anybody who wants to follow what I'm doing today but ignore this bet because you know the recent history would suggest it's not a good idea. That being said, what I would say to you about recent history and trends and stuff like that as a slight tangent, foreseeable future, if you looked at that horse yesterday, the last few times it run, you wouldn't have picked it. The trainer, not in form, hadn't had a winner in 2 weeks. The jockey hadn't had a winner in 2 weeks. That jockey, yesterday, James Sullivan, he rode that like he was a hero, and he was a hero the way he went from the front. It was cracking. So trends are there to be broken. Look at the Grand National. 7-year-old hadn't won the Grand National since whatever, so most people walk past it because they follow the trends. So the trend is these bets aren't working for us, but overall I'm telling you statistically they're still okay. 3 o'clock Sandown, Grenadine 11 to 8, 328 Ripon, Restorer 13 to 2, and the 446 Navan, Search for a Song 2 to 1. So I've done that as a 50p Win Trixie, so that's doubles and a treble, so that's a £2 bet, a £1 win single just on Restorer, and then an additional £1 win double on the 2 shorties. So hopefully that makes sense. It adds up to £4. So a little bit more complication in there before I get to bet 4, which is the most complicated of the day. Right, so last time I did a bumper bet, as I called it, and I had 1 horse in a race, 1 horse in a race, and then 2 horses and 2 horses. Here, I've got 4 races. I've got 7 horses in total is the way I've done it. So let's explain this to you, and I'll try and get it up to the screen so you can take a look. 324 is our first leg at Limerick, and I've gone for 2 horses, and I've got the prices. I'm taking the prices of those 2. Alex D and Doolin Dancer. So Alex D 28 to 1, Doolin Dancer 33 to 1. The others, I'm taking the SP, not because I'm not happy with the prices. I'm just not too fixed on the prices. So I'm kind of hoping that if I leave it, we might end up with a little bit of a drifter in there. Whereas those two are quite like those prices, and I'm happy to take the risk that if they do drift out. Clearly, if you're betting anywhere other than Sky Bet, you can get best price guarantee, so you don't have to have that worry. Just take the price. But with Sky Bet, I'm taking those two prices because I like them. So we've then got 332 in the big race, Potterman, and I guess a big flag for here. I'm not saying to you that is my horse of the day or anything like that. I know it's the big race and people will be paying more attention. I think the market has got that race relatively right. So I'm trying to find something that's got a little bit more value than some of the ones at the top of the market. And I don't see a lot of value in the race, to be honest, even though, you know, lots of horses and most bookies are paying 5. So I'm going with Potterman in there as a one horse race. And then we've got the 5:15 at Sandown, Champagne Court and Flashing Glance. So all of these are all about 11 to 1. So you can, you know, if you're best price guarantee, as I said, you're good. But I'm going to chance the SPs here and we'll see. And then we've got the 5:21 Navan, Vicio and White Desert. Or Desert? Oh, it's Desert, isn't it? I think. Desert. Who knows? As I've said, sometimes I have challenges reading on this stuff. So Vicio's about 12s, White Desert is about 14s. So I've taken the SPs. I'm not thinking they're going to move in, so I'm thinking I'll take a chance and might get a few extra points. Right, so what am I doing bet-wise? It is 18 cross, 16 pence each way doubles, 20 cross, 15 pence each way trebles, and 8 cross, 14 pence each way fourfolds. That makes exactly £14. No, I have not put any singles on here. So this is a risky way of doing it. So some of you might choose to, and you absolutely could do, is take this and do it as 2 lucky 15s as I would normally do. Long-term profitability, that is a better way of doing it, doing the lucky 15s. It's Saturday, I'm having a bit of a go, and to be honest, as I've said before on this channel, I'm not always about trying to maximise profit. I'm trying to make it a bit of fun. So clearly, if the first 2 legs go down, like happened on the last time I did a bet like this, it's less fun. If the first 2 legs go in, then we've got quite a lot to cheer going on the next 2 ones. So that's how it's going to work. So yeah, there's safer ways of doing it. Do it as a couple of lucky 15s and pick one of each of those and put Potterman in both. You could do it like that. So that's the way I've done it for the channel. Clearly I might be a little bit upset if the first 2 win and nothing else does and I've got no singles, but I'll take the hit. Just for context, in a lucky 15, the way that I do them, you need 3 legs to place to make profit. The way this bet works, if one of the first 2 go in, we then need 2 of the next 5 to at least place. So this is one of those to place, 2 of the next 5 to place. That should just be enough to give us profit. Clearly, ideally, what we want is lots of them to place. But if the first leg goes down, we then need 4 of the next 5 to at least place in order to make profit. So it does hinge quite a lot on leg 1 because that's where the better value is. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, that is my jumbo bet for the day. Word on the golf, Ashley Chester's still in there in the mix. He did all right yesterday, so we'll keep an eye on him. He's teeing off a bit later. Retief Goosen was fairly average, but he's still in the mix. He's not far enough away that is a problem at the moment. And then Sheffield and Palmer look like they've made the cut, which is decent because half the teams didn't. They're a little bit far away, so they really need to make some moves. I think them and Goosen need to make some moves really today on the penultimate day. So we'll have a look at that. And I will just give an early flag tomorrow. It doesn't look like great at all tomorrow, so I'm expecting a very, very small bet tomorrow. I think it's just Bath and Wetherby. And then Monday is actually a much better Monday than usual. So I'm expecting a decent bet Monday. And then Tuesday onwards is Punchestown Festival next week, which has normally got some decent stuff on. So I think it'll be a decent week next week for racing. But tomorrow particularly is a quiet day. So if there was any day in the next week where you're thinking, I just need a day off the racing, I would say tomorrow is your day. That's the day to not have a bet if you need a day off. Whatever I do on the channel, I'm sure will be very small. All right, that is me. You enjoy your Saturday. I will enjoy mine, and hopefully, long-term fans will be pleased to know there's no Wolverhampton bets today, so there's nothing to worry about in the evening. The last race was R5, and then you can go enjoy your evening and not think, what donkeys have we got going on at Wolverhampton? So we're good to go today. 5:30, you can enjoy your Saturday night. Thanks very much. See you in the morning. Cheerio.